Coach, and then we'll take some questions.
All right, it's good to see everybody. What a great night. Appreciate everybody sticking around for the late game. You know, the 100 timeouts per quarter, all that stuff. The Zona Zoo sellout just rocking. And this was a really special night for our football team. I think it was a special night for our fans. I'm not sure how the retro theme played out, but it felt good to me. So I just want to say appreciate everybody. I'm excited. When you saw that out there tonight, that effort, that execution, that accountability, I know we got work to do, but that is what it's supposed to look like. That is exactly, in moments, what it's supposed to look like. Not the whole thing, but in moments, that's what it's supposed to look like. And I'm so proud of our team, and I am so fired up. So give me your questions, because I am ready to rock. Let's go.
We'll start with Jason and then Justin.
The beginning of the second half, just not necessarily
Right to the crowd.
No.
I mean, goddamn. Yeah. It was so much good. Okay, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Not necessarily what happened, but
Yeah.
the reaction and the fact that
Amen.
they did it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in every football game, when you're playing against a program that's as good as Kansas State, there's going to be back and forth. Back and forth. Those guys have won a lot of football games for a really, really long time. They're extremely well coached. They have good players. And so there's going to be back and forth. What I loved was the response, because we had two really ugly plays back to back, and then we responded. We responded in all three phases there. And that is what good teams do, is when something goes wrong, you respond. And that's red line. And you saw it. And you saw it in the effort, you saw it in the execution, you saw it in the accountability, because we screwed something up, and now we own it, fix it, and let's play the game. And so that was exciting.
Justin and Brian.
What did you make of Ismail Mahdi and how he was able to get going tonight?
Okay, so I'll tell you, I'm so proud of that kid. Like, what an awesome human being he is. Like, I don't know how much time you guys have spent with him, but just his energy, the smile on his face, the way he makes you feel when you're around him, he's really special. When we went to dinner tonight, I always choose different groups to eat first, right? And so at the pregame meal tonight, I told the team, this game's going to be one up front. So I said, O-line, D-line, you eat first, which is dangerous because you don't know if there's going to be anything left. You know what I mean? But so I said, O-line, D-line, you eat first. And what I saw is I saw that group continue to answer every time on both sides of the ball. But in regards to Mahdi, like, he doesn't make those plays without that offensive front blocking the way they had to against a team that's normally hard to block. You know what I mean? Like, those guys are freaking good, man. And so I'm really excited about just how they responded and how, Ish just kept showing up and kept ripping off big runs with physicality and finish and receivers blocking downfield. There's a lot of good there.
Brian and then Michael.
Salgado Medina had a very up and down game, the punt, the missed field goals and all that, but the choice to want to keep going with him even when there were mistakes, was there consideration of making any changes?
There's not. I got faith in Michael. And he had two bad plays, but then he responded and he hit the field goal after that. You know what I mean? So I believe in that young man, and he's going to be a great player here for years to come.
Michael and then Chris.
The defense obviously had another really good night, maybe one bad play the entire game. You guys used like a 4 linebacker set quite a bit with Kennedy out there, Jabari Man along with the starting backers. What do you think that defensive personnel did? How did that help you?
I think Coach Gonzalez and that staff did an awesome job with the plan. I think it was a mixture of that and other stuff, right? Different personnel groups trying to match their personnel groups. I think anytime you hold any Division I team to under 200 yards of total offense, that's a special night. Like, that is a hell of a football night. And so our defensive staff and those players should be ecstatic. And we're ecstatic for them, because that is big time. Because when you think about it, the one big run, I don't know how long it was. 75. So, like, I'm not a math major. 193 minus 75. You guys do it for me, but there you go. 118 in total offense. So, I mean, come on, that is incredible. And we got to give the defense their flowers, man. Like, that was awesome.
Chris and then Justin.
We've seen Noah trusting his legs more and more. Obviously, there's been some penalty calls that have negated some of the rushing touchdowns, but he had 2 tonight. He's surpassed his career total this season alone in rushing touchdowns. Just what that added element gives you and Seth and the offensive staff going forward into the season.
I think it's tremendous, and I think That's one of those things about Noah that, we've known and that we get to see on display every day. Like, the kid is a competitor. He is a Class A, big-time competitor, and he wants to win. And he doesn't care how it looks. He doesn't care if he has to throw it, hand it, or run it himself. But he's going to orchestrate it. And so, I think, that adds another element to us that makes us dangerous. And I think Coach Dagy's doing a good job of putting him in those situations. And Noah's doing a good job. He's now played a lot of football. So he's settling in, and he's finding his moments where those opportunities present themselves, and he's taking advantage of it.
Justin and then Jordan.
You guys are going through that crazy third quarter, and then after Jabin Watley's interception, what's the message to the team at that point?
Respond with red line. You know what I mean? I think that's one of those things that keep the message clean, keep the main thing. Like, they know that. Like, what can we do in this moment? Something bad happened. What can we do? How do we respond? And I think that's one of those things that's all part of our journey as a football team, and learning how to do that with consistency. Because every team you play is good enough to make a play. Every team you play is good enough to beat you. Every team you play. And so how are you going to respond in the tough moments? That's what gives you a chance to be a good football team, is your response in the tough moments. Do you respond with red line? Do you respond with effort? Do you respond with execution? Do you respond with accountability?
And then assessment of right tackle play tonight. Rhino started, and then you put in Tristan Bounds. There were some holding penalties in there. What's just your assessment of that?
So Rhino's still coming back from his injury, and so he's on a pitch count. You know what I mean? So we're being smart about that. We're listening to the medical staff, and we're doing whatever they think we should with those reps. And I thought Tristan did a good job coming in there and playing. I think in terms of the offensive line, I know we have some work to do, but I'm excited about their progress. I really am. And I think that has shown up in our first 3 games in both running the ball and throwing it. And so I'm excited. And you always need more than 5. It's not like we got 5 guys, and it's going to be the same 5 every week in college football. It doesn't work that way. And so I'm excited. I think Coach Oglesby's done a nice job of developing that position. And I think those guys work their tails off, and I'm excited about the multiple guys that can step in and play good football and give us a chance to win.
Jordan in the back and then Michael.
Coach, what have you learned about this team 3 games in, and what things you want to focus on and iron out heading into the final week?
Well, I've learned that this team loves to compete, and they care about each other. I think lots of people say that. I think it's real here, and I think it matters. I think that's why you see that kind of effort. That's why you see that kind of celebration. Like, I don't know if you saw our sideline in the fourth quarter when our defense was out there. It was on fire. It was awesome. And so this team really cares about each other. It's important to them. Every day they show up to work, and they work their tails off, and they do it for each other. It's an unselfish group. And so I'm excited because we're 3-0. We have a bye. We can do some self-assessment. We can dive into some situational football. We can work on some stuff, and we can also get ready for an extremely good Iowa State team on the road, which we know is going to be an extremely tough game. So I love where we're at. And I know we have work to do. There's a lot more of the good stuff that I want to see happen, but I'm going to be excited about what happened tonight.
Michael and then Brian.
You're talking about responding earlier. Genesis Smith, he probably had the best chance to make the tackle on that long touchdown run. Comes back later in the game, breaks up the last pass of the game. What did you think about how he responded personally?
Genesis Smith is a straight-up baller. Like, he is an awesome football player. Like, he's still pissed off because he dropped the 2 interceptions that both would have been just miraculous, incredible catches. But that's what kind of competitor he is. He's one of those guys. I call him the CEO of our football team. He's a chief energy officer because he is always with the juice, always. You guys have come to practice. You guys have seen him. He's the Energizer Bunny. He doesn't stop. But the guys feed off of that. And to his credit, right, like, misses a tackle and then shows up consistently late in the game, in the moments that matter, in the moments when it has to get done. Genesis is there to make a play.
Brian and then Juan.
Middle of the game, last drive of the first half and a little bit in the second half, it seemed like there was more of a move to throw in the ball and throwing it a lot. Knowing that Quincy was limited and Kedrick was out, was that part of the play call that you were trying to maybe give Ish less reps right there in the middle to keep him fresh?
No. The play calling is always dictated on what the defense is doing, right? So as we're going and we're playing the game and we're watching it, we're like, hey, they've got 8 people in the box, which is we're outnumbered in the run game, so we're going to throw it. It's always that.
Juan and then Justin.
Chuba got to start tonight, and you opened up some holes for Israel to run through. Can you kind of talk about what he means to the team? He's kind of a fan favorite, and what he does for the program.
Chowing down with Chuba. You've been watching the videos. Yeah, I think Chuba's one of those young men that I think if you spend any time with him, you're blown away by just his charisma, his intelligence. He just is one of those really, really special young people. He's a leader of our football team. He's had a tough fall, right? His dad passed away about a month ago. But wow, did he show up tonight? And I'm just so proud of him and so happy for him. He stuck to it, and you know, he played D-line for us last year and got hurt. You know, it's just he's one of those guys that everything that is right about college football, and I'm glad Chuba's on our team. And so is everybody else. Like everyone loves Chuba, so it's pretty cool.
Our last two will be Justin and Chris.
So Kansas State went a combined 3 for 17 on third and fourth down plays. What do you think about your defense on those particular plays and how they answered to that tonight?
I love that. You know, Coach Gonzalez has this kind of mantra that, you know, third and medium is a championship down, and we showed up on a lot of those third and mediums, right? And I think that part of it, I like the confidence our defense is playing with. They trust Coach Gonzalez and the staff. They're all doing their job, and when they do their job with Redline, you're seeing fantastic results. And so I'm just encouraged to for that thing to continue to develop and evolve, you know, over this next couple of weeks of practice and over the course of the season. But you know, 3 for 17 is an awesome number for a defensive football team on third down.
We'll finish up with Chris.
Kind of pivoting from the X's and O's, you've been just a big proponent, advocate of the game day experience as a whole, asking fans to show up for the Wildcat Walk. Men's basketball was at the Bear Down Bash today. The drone show, obviously didn't get to see it, but drone show with the Pride of Arizona. Just a little bit about what athletics has done as a whole to just enhance the game day experience this season.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I mean, obviously, if someone was playing football in the parking lot at a Walmart, I'd show up and watch it. But I'm a football guy, you know. I love what they're doing here. Like, I think Desiree and her staff has worked really hard and been really creative. They've taken input from fans. They've done a whole bunch of work to, how do we make this as great of an experience for our fans as possible? I've heard the Bear Down Bash is awesome. I haven't, you know, it'd be weird if I was out there, having a beer, dancing, you know, pregame. Everybody'd be like, what the hell is that guy doing here, I think. But I think I give the credit to them because less people are going to games across America. People are just staying at home watching TV. You know what I mean? Don't want to get off their couch, whatever, traffic, whatever. To me, those people are missing the magic of a college football game. They're missing the pomp and circumstance. They're missing the pride of Arizona. They're missing the cheer squad. They're missing the Wildcat Walk. They're missing the game on the field and the energy in the stadium and the Zona Zoo, which was sold out tonight. I mean, that part of it is really special, really special. And I think at a day and time when everybody's looking for experience, like a high value experience, there's nothing better than a college football game in Arizona Stadium.
Thank you, everybody.
Bear down.